Hey everyone, it's Raimi from the Dad Batch and behind the scenes button pusher for Off the Rack Rebellion. First off, a heartfelt thank you to each and every one of you for being a loyal watcher or listener of the show. Knowing that you enjoy the content we're producing is what helps motivate us to keep putting new episodes out each week. So, again, thank you. I wanted to pop in and give our friends at Heroes and Villains a quick shout out. And no, they don't pay us to advertise for them. They're just genuinely nice guys, and we believe in what they're doing over there. And we wanted to see them continue to bring awesome pop culture gear to fans just like us. Here on Off the Rack Rebellion, Kate and Billy talk every week about finding real world clothing that would fit into the Star Wars galaxy. And that's the same design philosophy that Heroes and Villains uses when they approach every new line. They don't just slap a giant logo on a t shirt and call it done. They ask their designers to put themselves in the minds of the characters being represented and ask, what would they be wearing in the universe they're in? What would Wolverine's hoodie look like? What kind of jogging gear would the Bad Batch wear? What kind of bomber jacket would an off duty TIE pilot have? And their designs aren't over the top either. They're detailed enough to satisfy the fan in all of us, and subtle enough to fit perfectly into that if you know zone too. Because we believe that our audience and the Heroes and Villains lines are such a perfect match, we talked the Heroes and Villains folks into giving us a discount code. So head on over to heroesandvillains.com and load up your shopping cart with stuff for your family, friends, and of course yourself. And use the code DADBATCH at checkout to get 20% off. Again, that's DADBATCH, all caps and all one word at checkout to get 20% off your order. It's a one use per customer code, so make sure you make that order count. Thanks again for listening to me ramble. Now let's enjoy this week's episode of Off the Rack Rebellion.
This resistance. Welcome back to Off the Rack Rebellion, the podcast where we talk about costuming and take everyday finds and incorporate them into your everyday cosplay. Kate, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you, Billy?
I'm pretty good. We're going to talk about something a little silly and goofy today, right?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I mean, we're getting to that time of the year. It's gonna come up. Actually, when this drops, it will be
Mm-hmm.
Happy Life Day.
Happy Life Day. It's back. We've done another rotation.
It's another circle. So here we go. So and Life Day is something that I didn't know about as a kid. Like
Okay.
I'd missed it because it was only aired in '78, right? They didn't re-air it, correct? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and that was before my time and before the internet, so I didn't know about it until later on. Did you like ever watch it as a kid or anything?
No,
Or
no. I was born in 1980.
oh, there we go.
Kate.
Yeah, because you're
I was born.
yes, we're like almost the same age.
I was born in 1980. No, but I did. It became this like thing that you could either find like
Yeah.
VHSs of that a friend would have, or
Oh, man.
later down the line, maybe someone somehow burned a DVD of it, and then later, like it just kept popping up on the internet,
Yeah.
much to like George Lucas's dismay, because I think
Yes.
he
Yes.
really hated this thing.
Yeah, which I
It's not
didn't
so
realize that.
bad.
Yeah. It's well, it's
Not
it's a
so
little
bad.
bizarre.
It's
It's
a little bizarre.
it's got some pieces. Yeah, which I didn't realize because I was just reading about it. I didn't realize that he wasn't involved. Like,
No.
and that's probably probably why we get the little compilation that
I
we get. But
forget exactly what it was. I think it was the broadcast network that they had some kind of licensing agreement or
oh, okay,
something of that
okay,
ilk.
gotcha,
And that's how it got roped in. And that's how like the
gotcha.
three main characters got roped in.
Yes, yes. Well, and I love that. I did look it up, and I think on like Star Warspedia or whatever, one of them, it wasn't Wikipedia, but it was one of them, mentioned
Mhm.
how it stars Han Solo or Harrison Ford. I'm like, Harrison Ford, like, I don't, yeah, okay, all right. I guess you can say it stars him, but like, man, there's a lot of the crew that it's kind of starring. Um, but yeah, I think that it was just a really interesting, like, let's make this story about Chewbacca having a family and going back to them. And I was like, so we never mention them again? Like,
No,
we just
never.
like he
Never.
visits them once every 10 years. It's fine.
But there's like a real emphasis on trying to get there for Life Day, like,
Yes, yes.
but I guess just the one Life Day then?
Yeah, yeah, just the
That
one,
was a
like, we
very
never have to go
important
back.
Life Day.
But we were gonna talk about the fashion that we see, which,
Right.
is not much because as you pointed out, the 3 main characters are all in their regular
Yeah,
regular
they're hero
outfits from A
looks,
New
yeah.
Hope, right? Because it was '78 and there wasn't anything else yet, right?
Right, right, right,
Um,
right. So
yeah, but
we didn't get white robes Luke
yeah,
or whatever that that little
yeah,
folded over thing.
yeah.
Tunic. That's what it is.
Yes.
We didn't get
Yeah,
Tunic Luke. We got Rebel Pilot Luke. We
yeah,
got Han Solo, regular original recipe Han Solo.
yeah.
And we got Princess Leia in her Princess Leia
The
look
cinnamon
with
buns, right?
much bigger cinnamon buns. Did you notice
Yes,
that? Like they
yes,
were
yeah,
so
I
big.
did. They're really like, "This is what she's known for. We gotta go big here." It's
Go big
you
on
know,
these.
I
It's
did you
playing
ever
to the
watch the
back of the
Lawrence
room.
Welk show? Like, I grew up watching
Yes.
Lawrence Welk with my grandparents on the farm, and it was like, big hair was definitely big hair and big makeup was definitely a thing on those shows.
I think TV back then was still holding on to a lot of like theater.
Yeah.
And so you're playing to the back of the audience. A lot of this stuff was not specifically this, but a lot of these shows were in front of a live studio audience. So there
Mhm,
was a theater
mhm.
aspect to it. So you got
Yes.
to play it big. You got to play to the back row. You
Yeah.
gotta sing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sorry.
You gotta really project.
I
I
was
could
gonna
see
break
that.
out into I was gonna break out into a song.
You gonna sing the Life Day song for us?
No, no, I don't know it.
I don't
Um,
either.
um,
Oh, man.
but
Well
before we get going, I think the reason why I think the reason why Disney has lent into it is because Disney does a lot of theater. Like in the
yeah, that's a
parks,
good
like when you
point.
see a show, like it's very theater, it's very big. Like the acting
Yeah.
sometimes is like, people rag on it because it's very play
Mhm.
to the back, very
Yep.
big, very, um,
Yeah. Even when you meet the characters on the streets, they're
yep.
they're really over the top. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, because I don't know where that comes from, but I think that's why they took to it, and that's why Life Day is celebrated on Batu. Like it's a big
Yeah.
deal
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
Batu, and given that that's not a canon, it's
Yeah,
not a,
right. Well, is it now?
canon
Because it's
story.
celebrated in the park. So, I mean, like, Life Day's canon now, right? Like, right?
Yeah, and I think there's
Yeah.
like a comic book of it,
Okay,
which
okay.
that's I think rates a little higher than the parks in the canon spectrum, the
Okay.
written word. So yeah, I think the
Okay.
parks are kind of low down on on the thing. We never know when
Okay.
that stuff will be like,
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Okay, gotcha.
redone and co-opted. Remember, we've
Yeah,
never
true.
actually seen Batu. Oh, sorry.
That's a good point.
We've never actually seen
Yeah.
Batu in on screen.
That's
So does it
true. That's true.
exist? I don't
They do
know.
need to
I've
work
been
it in.
there.
I know. If we're there, it
I've
must be
been there.
real.
So
Oh, it's making me miss that too, actually.
yeah, me too.
Yeah. Life Day. Life Day someday. But I think also that they've realized that, Disney purchased Lucasfilm and with it a lot of people's hearts
Yeah.
because like we are so tied to it and their wallets. So I feel like they were
Mhm.
definitely like, you know what Star Wars fans have been scouring the internet for is these like little clips of this show that like is so obscure, but they're like, yeah, let's do it. Let's go for it. Which whatever. We're here to like, yeah, we'll buy it, right? We're like, I'm gonna
Oh,
make it
hang
happen.
on one second.
Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry. Sorry about that.
No worries.
That was my phone.
No worries. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so Life Day. So I definitely showed it to when it was like on Disney Plus for the first time. Like had my family sit down. I was like, "Yeah, let's watch this." And like our oldest was like, "Are you serious right now?" He's like, "I'm not even staying to watch this." It's like come on, it's campy. Don't kids like campy anymore? But it's pretty goofy. So,
I think it is. I did a speed run of it
yeah.
earlier today because I was like, well, I need to refresh myself. I know I've seen a bunch of the clips and whatnot, and I do know that it was like it looks very cheesy. It has a very
Yeah.
cheesy look. It has a very TV look,
Mhm.
and
Early
70s
like
TV, which we
yeah,
talked about,
70s.
like is very kind
Yes.
of theatery. And so I did a scrabble through just to like touch base on like, okay, so what happens, right?
Yeah.
So Chewbacca's family, sure. And I was like, okay, we need to talk about costumes. They did use a lot of the OT stuff. So there's actually
Oh,
only
yeah.
2
Yeah.
costumes because there's a cantina scene,
Yeah.
and everyone in the cantina we've seen.
Yeah.
And then there's, all the scenes with Chewbacca and his family,
Yeah.
or Chewbacca's family. Do they ever get there? Yeah, they do get
Yeah,
there,
they do.
right? I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
in the end.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like the whole thing, and they never actually appear on screen. So the 2 looks that we're talking about, right, is
Yeah.
Art Carney's character. I don't know the characters' names.
I can't remember. I know we should have looked into the characters' names better because I don't remember them either.
I don't think
We
it
did
actually
the special
matters.
Flash of the Pan, but
And B. Arthur. Those, I think,
Yeah.
are the 2 standout like characters that we get
Yes.
from the holiday special.
yeah. Well, and I love that you pointed out that Art Carney is in glasses
Oh,
for 2 minutes, which is this. I mean, that's the first eyewear scene in
that is
Star
the
Wars.
first ever.
technically.
Yes. Yeah.
Like,
To the bane of my existence now, I think Art Carney's glasses, who he wears for like literally like 2 minutes. We talked about this off mic, and it was
yeah.
probably something that this older gentleman needed to read something on set,
Yeah.
like off of a paper, not a screen. They didn't have iPads or anything. Like, it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, right.
probably something that like this Imperial officer that's like questioning him is asking him like, what is that? And he had to literally just look at it. And he's an older gentleman, so he needed to put his glasses on to
Yeah.
look at it. He doesn't wear them at all for the rest of the hour and a half of
Yeah.
this special. And somehow this one image of Art Carney is dredged up every few years when people start talking about, can I wear my glasses
Glasses.
in Star Wars, right? Oh, God. Well, you can now, I guess. We've
Yeah.
got like actual canon depictions of
Yeah.
it. It's been a big discussion with the people in the chats and stuff,
Uh-huh.
where it's like, I don't know. The exception is not the rule.
Yeah. Well, and I get it's tough. Like if you are a glasses wearer, it's tough.
I'm a
because
glasses
you're not-
wearer.
Yeah, yeah. But there are glasses wearers who aren't contacts wearers and things like that as well.
I don't wear contacts either.
You just
You
don't
know what
see
I do?
well.
I tough it out. I just don't see. I'm a Star Wars.
that is like
I
how
just
deep
don't
you
see
go.
from
You're like,
far.
I'm just not gonna see. I'm just gonna walk around.
Whenever I go to a con and I'm like, oh, people might be there. Look, I always like put up a post like or something saying like,
Oh, yeah.
please come up to me because
Yes.
I can't see you.
Are you nearsighted? Is that like
I'm
the, like-
nearsighted. Yeah. So if you're
Okay.
standing way over there and waving at me, I don't see you. I don't know
There
you're
we
there.
go. Good to know. Good to know because I wouldn't wanna. Yeah, and I mean, I do get the struggle. My husband just started wearing contacts for hockey because
Yeah.
you do not want to
Oh,
be
you
wearing
can't.
glasses in a cage. Like when you've got like the full visor and everything. Like
Oh,
no.
no.
So he just started wearing it, and so he did wear for Halloween. We went down to Mopop here in Seattle for their party, and he was Chewbacca with just a like a cheesy 70s mask because it was a disco theme. And
Yeah.
I was like, you just gotta like just wear that old plastic mask looking thing. And
Yeah, I
so
love those.
he did wear them. But like any other cosplay I've ever built for him has always had to be something that like he could wear with his glasses because he
Right.
refused to get contacts until hockey.
Right.
So and it was like, so for this year, I was like, you could wear contacts. You got a bunch of them upstairs.
Yeah. Put them on and let's
So-
do the thing.
Yeah, I get it. I get that it's tough for people for sure. But
No,
yeah.
absolutely.
eyeglasses.
And also, like, if you're in cosplay and you need to wear, I've done it. I was at I was at the convention floor on,
Yeah.
for Celebration, and I was in my glasses, like,
Yeah.
because I literally had to see.
You need to be able to see,
Sometimes people would be
absolutely.
like, send me messages. I'm over here. Can you see me?
Oh yeah,
No,
and you've got to be there.
no, I can't, but I will now for a second, right? So I understand the need
What you
to
need.
wear glasses when you're in cosplay. I
Yes.
understand it. There is
mean, you
no need then try to force them into the
Yes.
universe just to
Yes.
make like a point. Like this is we're
All
not
right.
talking about representation here. Like, what is that?
I guess
You
you as an
need
eyeglass
people.
wearer can say that.
I guess so. Yeah. Look, I don't wear them for this podcast because it's like a Star Wars podcast. That has nothing to do with like being in cosplay. And
You're
I
like
don't
it's
wear
like
my
the Clark
glasses
Kent, like you
for
get home from work, you
regular.
sit down at your desk and you like take them off, and now you're Maddox instead of being Billy, which now you're like,
Exactly. Before we start recording, I always jump on camera and I'm always wearing them. Like,
yeah. And this is the first time I've
yeah.
ever been like, oh yeah, that's right. He takes them off when we start. I
Yeah, I
don't even
take them
notice.
off to record. I think maybe I left them on once for the beginning of an episode, and I quickly was like, "Oh my god, my glasses are still on."
Oh my gosh. The glasses. Oh, the great
Yeah,
glasses
anything I
debate.
did
That's
do.
another.
Yeah, and so
This
then
week.
I started to like warm up to the idea of like,
Okay.
okay, Maz Kanata, she
Yeah.
wears some
Those
form of,
monocles,
I
those
don't know
like
if they're
dual monocles.
corrective. I don't know if they're corrective lenses or if they're magnifiers, like,
Yeah.
but they are glasses. And I was like,
Yeah.
if we're gonna go glasses, go that way.
Yeah.
Make it hard.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Somebody needs to make something that like wraps around the back of the head and somehow
yes,
stays there, and you could like open them and you could go, oh, that'd be awesome.
yes,
That'd be
make
so
it
cool.
that
Okay,
way.
friends who make things.
Make it that way. Please push it that way.
Yeah.
Please,
That'd be
creators of like
awesome.
these stories of Star Wars, like go that route. You have a whole
Yeah.
production and prop department. Like,
Uh-huh.
don't make me wear these as part of a cosplay. Like acetate I'm so mad. I'm not mad,
This
really.
is why.
But like acetate glasses, just straight up acetate glasses,
Oh
just
man.
not even metal, not even metal.
Yeah, like there needs to be some sort of like
Not even metal with
something
the
of
little
like,
side thing, like the round ones that have like the old-timey welding
oh
glasses that have
yes,
like a
yeah.
net metal
Mm-hmm.
screens on the side so that nothing like
Yeah, because some
gets into the
people
sides
will
of
like,
your eyes.
because the sunglasses is a big need on Batu, right? Like when we go to
Right.
Batu, it's like you're dying unless you've got like, yeah, and
Right.
I do have a pair of those. It's like the metal on the side just to try
Hmm.
and look more
That I think
limited,
fits more.
right? Yeah. One of my friends also sent me, and I still have it on my phone, but it's like 90 tabs deep on my web browser, right?
Yeah.
Because she sent it to me like a year ago or whatever. But there is a brand that makes sunglasses with a strap. And when I
Okay.
saw him, because she was talking about him, because she like uses them for kayaking and skiing and like all this stuff where you don't want to be dropping your glasses, but it's not quite the like, when I paddleboard, sometimes I've got like this
Mhm.
floaty thing on my sunglasses, but
Yeah.
it's cooler looking than that, honestly. And so I was like,
Right.
oh, those are Star Warsy. Look, send that to me. And I still haven't gotten a pair because they're kind of expensive. But even some sort
Yeah.
of like where it doesn't have arms, right? Like the whole idea
Right.
of like the arms over the ear is such an antiquated, earthy idea
Yeah,
where
I
it's
think
like
so. And
make
the
it
bridge of the
attach
nose
some
also for
other
some
way.
reason. Yeah, they've got to be
Yeah,
attached another way.
right. Or like
Up and
Anakin's got
over.
his like, yeah. So I was thinking, because Anakin's pod racer isn't his like goggles attached on his helmet, or is that somebody else in the pod
They
races?
I think so. I'm not
It might be.
100%
Yeah, I
sure.
know.
Yeah.
I know. I haven't
And
looked
people
closely
always
into
tell me like, "Oh, what about Tech from Bad Batch?"
it.
And I'm like, "Those aren't glasses, those are goggles. Like those are clearly
Oh, so
goggles." Like,
goggles are fine. Okay. There's like these fine little
there's
details of like,
there's goggles all over and there always
yeah,
has
true.
been, like,
True. Yeah,
like
absolutely. Yeah,
that
goggles are a
like
thing.
yeah. And if they're
Yeah.
used like if the character's using them for a specialized sort of heads up display, like those
Mhm.
aren't glasses. Those aren't
Mhm.
corrective glasses. The guy that we
Right.
saw in the Skeleton Crew of latest trailer, like those are
Yeah, those
glasses.
are
Like those
glass.
those are acetate like glasses. Those are lens crafters. Like
I really like seeing what pushes your buttons with like some of like the Star Wars costuming. It's
just make
fantastic.
it like it just they
You
look
want more of
so
this
earthly.
filter. You want more of a facade on that than
I feel like I
just
can go down the
glasses.
street to like Ace and Tate. Ace and Tate's like a big like eyeglass wearer. They're
Okay.
affordable,
Okay.
and I feel like I can get that. I feel like I can get that prop.
Yeah, okay. Okay, gotcha.
And I don't
Yeah.
know if I like that. I'm
Okay.
sorry. This
All right.
has
No,
nothing to do with Life Day. Now, I'm
no, but
sorry. I'm sorry.
it
I'm
does. It does
hijacking
because
this.
like this is also our fourth episode that we're recording in a row. And by the
I
time
know.
we get
I
to
know.
four, we start to lose our minds a little bit. So,
Yeah,
which is
we
why we
do.
threw Life Day at the end. You'll
Yeah.
be seeing it out of order, but this is
Anyway, I'm
our.
just gonna wear glasses with every cosplay now. How about that? I'm gonna wear, black with the tape in the middle. Is that what you want? Is that what you want? The tape in the middle. What's next?
I'm
No, I
curious if these
didn't
guys
post the
tell
thing
me
where I was
true.
like, "Are my Adidas next? Can I wear Adidas now? Like, is that
Yeah,
in
yeah. I
universe?"
mean, is it a slippery slope into like, yeah, I don't know. All right, folks, if you wear
Okay.
glasses, do you wear them with your bounding or with your cosplay, or do you find some other solution? I am curious, and sunglasses as well, because sunglasses I think is a hard one for Batu because
That's a
I am
hard one.
always like my eyes are burning out of my head because I am
Yeah.
from the cloudy Pacific Northwest. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's tough. So the next look that we were talking about was B. Arthur, which
Mhm.
you mentioned that they introduced her as Beatrice, and you're like, who
Right. And I
doesn't
was
know
like,
B.
"Who's
Arthur?
Beatrice Arthur?" Yeah.
Right?
No, B. Arthur, which is great. She
Uh,
has a good look, I think, for
she's
Star Wars. I think
yeah,
she would
and
have been
her
like a
look
great general or something.
yeah, yeah. Well, and the look that
Yeah.
she has, I had pulled it up. It's very like kind of Ren Fair tunicky or Ren Fair like shirt,
Yeah.
which
Well,
I
she's
thought was an
giving like
interesting.
Not Shmi. Yeah. Um uh Owen and what's her name?
Oh yeah, Shmi. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Um it's giving like it's that 70s like look. I mean, she
Yeah.
looks like a barkeep. She looks like a
Yeah.
otherworldly cantina
Yeah.
proprietor. And I think that's pretty cool. I
Yeah. And
thought
I'm
both
thinking
of
I
those
love
looks
the
also going
color.
back to our Carney. I thought it was great. I thought his look
Yes,
was pinpoint.
absolutely. Here's one with them both together. We'll have to put that on there from USA Today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the texture and I like this rust color. And she's
Hmm.
kinda got, like, a scarf of not the same fabric, but a similar color kinda wrapped around her neck, and she's got, like, there's, like, sort of little frayed, dusty,
Hmm.
like, something wrapped around her waist, right? Like, a little
Yeah.
aprony kinda deal, but yeah, I like it. I love her hair too. Her hair is gorgeous in this. Like,
Yeah.
where
I
it's
thought they
up,
did
but
really
it's, like,
great.
got a little ponytail coming down. Yeah, I really think that she was made to look good.
I thought both of those
Alright.
costumes they did really great to like
Yeah.
capture like, you know, they don't look out of place. They don't look
No.
kind of
Yeah.
cheesy in 70s or anything like that. Like they
Yeah.
look like they really fit. Like when I
Yeah, they
was,
look
scrolling
otherworldly.
through it, I was like, why do people think this is cheesy? This looks pretty good. And then I hit play and I was like, oh, okay.
It's
Oh,
everything else.
okay.
Visually real good. It's just everything else that's going on for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, and
got a
I
little
think that
weird.
another interesting thing, there's two, you mentioned that these are kind of the two takeaway characters, but I think there's two others.
Okay.
Boba Fett. Like,
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah,
the
yeah.
first time
Okay.
we see him, but he's a cartoon, which to me is fascinating that the
Right.
first glimpse that we got of that really famous dented, scratched armor was this
Hmm.
one-dimensional cartoon where
Right.
it's much more crisp. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and I just think that that's ironic because people are so like the weathering of that armor is such a story. Like,
I don't know if you've ever seen it, but there's a costumer on Instagram, a cosplayer who did like an animated. A
oh,
lot of
I was
people have
about to
done the
say
animated Boba
somebody
Fett,
has to have done this, right?
but
Yeah.
they did it with the where it looks drawn, so everything is
Oh,
like
yeah.
outlined, and
Outlined.
it
Yeah.
looks amazing. It
That's
looks so
awesome.
incredible. Yeah,
I love
I think they
that.
call
I
it cell
love that.
shading. They did it in a cell shading style where
Okay.
everything is
Okay.
like,
Where people kind of do that pop art look where they like make themselves look
yes,
like yeah, okay. I know
yeah,
exactly what you're talking about. Yeah,
and it
that's
looks
awesome.
amazing. Yeah.
That's so cool. Yeah, but I think that that's just so funny, right? That like we know of that character as being so weathered and so worn and passed down through a
Hmm.
couple people, and here the first glimpse we get was a very clean cartoon.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the other thing that I think is just so funny is the Wookiees in robes because Wookiees don't
Right.
wear clothing except for Life
Right.
Day. I was just
Right.
like, who
Right.
decided, that they finally needed to wear something? And then who decided, no, 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 they don't wear anything ever. No.
No, not
Like,
ever, except for this one day out of the year, and it's
this
this
one day.
red like
Yeah.
robe.
Yeah, which it's very, like, medieval feeling in the look, right?
It's
It's
very
it's very
druid.
long,
Yeah.
it's got yeah, it's got very drapey sleeves. I love them, I think they're fantastically, like, fantasy space fantasy, right? But,
Yeah.
yeah, it just cracks me up that I'm like, "Okay, and now we've got, like, all these Wookiees wearing clothing." Maybe was it 'cause they had visitors? I don't know, maybe. But that just
Yeah.
cracks me up,
I guess that
like
they had to, yeah, I guess they were playing off of like, I guess a traditional Christmas look because that's sort
yeah.
of their
Yeah, it's a very
Christmas
Father Christmas.
tie-in like
Yeah.
holiday. Yeah.
It definitely does, but I was like it was just so funny, I'm like, "Yeah, you coulda done something with, like, leaves or, like, a
Hmm.
ring of leaves or something, like, to also look very Christmassy," but it was like, "No, robe, we're gonna give the Wookiees clothing." I don't know. It just
That's
made me
very
crack
funny.
up. I love that. I think the other interesting thing is that the orbs used to be clear, and now they've made them blue, which, like, in the
Okay.
original right, so, like, the ones you buy at the park and everything are blue, but originally on the holiday special, they're actually just glowing clear, and I think I've read the
And they
reason
didn't they
why.
have like didn't they have like little sort of almost like little crystally bits on the top as well?
Oh, they might have. I can't
Yeah. So
remember
they're
that part.
not
I just
like
remember
they're
the
not like
color being
smooth
different.
spheres.
Yeah, I'll have to look those up. Because I don't have one. I have like I have like this it's like from Goodwill. It's like
Yeah.
just a round light cover, right? That I
Yeah,
have
yeah,
like
yeah.
kind of on this it's on this like cement pot like urn thing, right? That I just like
Yeah.
I have it out all year round actually. Sometimes it's a fortune telling crystal ball for Halloween, sometimes it's a life day orb. But yeah, I was like, "Oh, it's not blue." But the originals weren't blue. I just think it's interesting that they made the change now,
Right.
and I'll have to look that up. I think I've read it, but I can't remember why they decided that that was a thing.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, I just think the whole like when you look at One Piece alone, it all makes sense. But kind of when you put that whole thing together, I think that's where it gets chaotic and it's super weird and
Yeah,
like
yeah. There's some very weird moments that like if you want to go and watch it, there's the full thing is on YouTube. You can
yeah,
watch it there, but there are some very weird moments in
yeah,
it.
yeah. It's
Like
like
the
okay,
chair thing and
yeah,
it was so weird.
yeah. But the fashion makes sense that they kept the original characters in just their regular
Yeah.
outfits because that's all that existed up until that point,
Yeah.
pretty much, right? Like Luke had a couple different looks, but you know, not any. Han didn't yet at all. Leia had one other
Mm-mm.
look, and that was it. But obviously, they really wanted to play up the cinnamon buns. So,
Yeah,
um,
they had to keep it like what the toys look like.
yeah, totally, yes, because
Yeah.
yeah, you wanted the kids to have the connection. So it was very
Yeah.
interesting. But definitely something I'd love to do someday is Life Day on Batu. Won't happen this year, obviously, but who knows? Maybe next year. But be fun. It looks fun. It looks like it's just a nice little quieter gathering than May the 4th is my understanding.
Right.
So yeah, it looks
Not
fun.
bad.
So
Not bad.
yeah.
Also, escaping the heat as well, as much as you can.
Yes. Yes, exactly. That's another draw for me for sure. Although I mean like this last time I was like worried it was gonna be hot and I was actually quite cold and damp all day. So you
Oh,
never know what
wow.
you're gonna
Yeah.
get. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, well, happy Life Day,
Okay.
everybody. Happy Life Day, Billy.
Happy Life Day. Yeah, happy Life Day.
Oh man.
I'm sorry, listeners, for losing my cool earlier about the glasses. It's fine if you want to wear glasses. It's okay. It's okay.
Or you can just write all complaints to Billy Maddox.
I get them anyway, so that's fine. Okay.
Oh
So
my
I think
goodness.
yeah, I wanted to add a note here at the
Yes.
end, right? The Denizens of the Rims, the 2024
Yes.
Visual Dictionary.
Yay.
It's being finalized. Well, maybe, who knows? Maybe by the time you're listening to this, it might be done.
Yes.
Um, at this time of recording, the Denizens are selecting their charity to support. This book is for charity and it will go on sale in November, probably at the end of November, probably sort of
Mhm.
mid-November, something like that.
Mhm.
We don't know yet, but you will know as soon as we know.
Yes.
All the proceeds go to charity, to the selected charity. I think it's there. They're voting for it right now. I said that. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
It features all original characters constructed by Star Wars fans across the globe. The book is the only one to showcase the creativity and the growing original character and denizen community. for more details, when more details are coming. You can check for those on the Denizen of the Rims Discord and on Instagram at Corelia Sar Cosplay. He is our dear friend, also a Burgundy Squadron member. He's doing great things. He did one last year and it was amazing.
Yeah. And this
Second
one's
one's gonna be
bigger and better. Yeah.
Bigger and better.
Amazing. I can't wait to see it. It's so much fun looking through and like seeing looks people put together and also the bios. So it's really fun
Yes.
because I'll be like, oh, I didn't realize that about that character. That's fascinating. So it's just a fun way to have a bunch of the crew in one place and to be able to look through for ideas or just look through and read what people did with their characters. And I like the creativity. It's awesome.
I like that you call it a yearbook. And
It is, it's like
our
a
yearbook.
Yeah, it's like our yearbook for sure.
I feel
I
like
love
if
it.
there's ever like a big gathering, I'm going to bring them and get them signed.
Get them, sign it. Oh my gosh.
See you next rotation. Never change.
Oh my gosh, maybe that's what I'll start doing for
Best
life.
friends.
Maybe I'll start doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you once again. Oh, actually, where can folks find you, Billy?
I'm
If they want to complain about glasses.
If they want to come and complain about glasses or talk to me about it or mistake your case as to why you think acetate glasses should be in Star Wars, come find me and fight me at Billy Maddox. At Billy Maddox on Instagram. No, don't fight me. But, if you want to talk about it, let's talk about it. I don't agree, but maybe I will one day. I don't agree now. I'm sorry.
Well,
where
maybe
where can they
we'll
find you?
see.
Yay.
They can find me at One Scavenger's Wardrobe. There are underscores between the words. You can find both of us at Off the Rack Rebellion with dots between the words. Huge thank you to Rami for being our producer in the background right now, and for the whole Dad Batch for bringing us in and hosting the podcast for us. Thank you. And just remember that a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away can be right here and right now.